All right, so we were talking about corruption. So the idea that the person who's at the head is to take care of the family, right? Um, as he's instructed by that divine light which shines in his heart and mind. But then when there's corruption, when that person has been born of a spirit which is not of the Father's, the Father of lights, the source of all truth, whenever that is the case, well, then everything goes awry and the children become kind of angry. And that's happening in the world today. And so the desire is to take down the patriarchy. But I think really the desire is to rid ourselves of corruption. But as I think about it, it is kind of backwards because the only way that you can really rid yourself of corruption and become into this line of the fathers is to look within and change yourself. But the desire is to look outward, so it causes problems when it's kind of backwards. But that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about the corruption itself. So so the so another a reaction to all of this whole model is another reaction is this desire to redistribute wealth. And I'd have to get political to go into the ins and outs of why that might be good or bad. Um, but I can kind of see where it comes from. It comes from this corruption. The fact that the person who is at the head of the family, instead of taking care of the family, spends the means of the family upon his own lusts, upon things which are not in keeping with the divine light and will. Which leads us to one last thing. I think it's the last thing that I wanted to say about this patriarchal order, which I believe may help us to understand the role of the patriarch a little bit better. And I think it is the principal solution to the problems that we see, but it's not a quick solution at all because it involves the change in the hearts of people and it requires new ideas to enter in. So the idea of the patriarch is that he wants to be like a channel. So the idea is that when means come to the patriarch, his desire, of course, some of the means are used for his own needs, but his desire is to have those means go to the family, to the individuals who he is called to be a father to. Okay? And this appears to me to be the solution. It's the opposite of corruption. It's that upside down pyramid where the one is the servant of the all. The greatest of all is the servant of all. And so the idea is that you become a channel for means, whether they be spiritual or temporal means. The patriarch is constantly looking. When something comes to him, he's always asking, who is this for? Who is this for? Which is totally antithetical to the man who's become corrupt. So the person who's become corrupt, the father who's the corrupt father, is when something comes to him, he knows who it's for. It's for me. It's for me. It's for me. Okay? So I'll give one example of a good step that I thought was a good step in the right direction. Now, I'm not extolling the virtues of this fellow that I'm going to mention, but I thought that this one thing he did was definitely a step in the right direction. This guy named Elon Musk. And he sold all his big houses and he moved into a tiny home. Cool. Now, I don't know if he'll ever own another big house. He might. He might buy another big house, sell it, and give it to charity or something. Or invest it in something that he deems to be worthy. It's one of the things he's doing. Um, but and who knows whether everything that he's doing is from coming from a source of light. He definitely seems to believe it is. He's driven by something other than just the money. But I thought, oh, right. When he bought that tiny house in Texas, I was like, that's it. That's the very thing. What do people need to see? They need to see that the people who are blessed exorbitantly, they kind of have this golden thumb, you know, that their interest is for the good of the human family. Right. That would change things. So I hope I've given you some things to think about. I think there's going to be one more of these, then we'll call it quits.